Walking around the school garden was my exact definition of peace. I brought a purple flower up to my nose, and then suddenly, I felt my chest tightening. I reached for my inhaler and panicked when I realized I dropped it on the way here. Oh God, was I gonna die?
Looking for this?
I turned to see Axel, the most attractive guy in school, and he was holding my inhaler. It was the first time he'd ever talked to me. Oh, thank God. Give me that, please. As I was taking some puffs, he kept looking at me, and it made me feel worse instead of better. I looked away and continued calming myself down. When I turned to him again, he was gone. This boy was so mysterious. He'd joined our school a year ago, and no one knew anything about him. Hi, my name is Olivia, and I have a chronic breathing condition called asthma. I wasn't allowed to join any active sports and have some extra fun. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. It was the weekend, and I'd invited my best friend Tori to play golf with me on our private course. I told her what happened yesterday, and she started squealing like a hyena. Oh my God, bestie, maybe he secretly likes you. Nah, he just tried to help me. Well, he never talked to any girl before, so it definitely meant something. So what if it does? He's not my type anyway. He's too mysterious for me. Rumor has it that he has a gang outside, and they love beating people up and burning things down, but that will make your love story even cuter. The title would be The Mafia Boss and His Queen. Ow! Just stop with your Wattpad fantasies already. Suddenly, a private jet landed nearby, and I was shocked to see who came out. Liam. He was my childhood friend who'd moved to Germany when we were 10, and I hadn't seen him in 5 years. I could hardly recognize him. He looked like a prince. He ran to hug me and spun me around.
I missed you so much, gorgeous.
I missed you too, handsome. Just then, he spotted Tori standing behind me.
Why are you playing golf with your maid, Olivia?
Liam, she's not…
Hey, you. Get me some fresh orange juice, quick.
Hello? Do I look like a maid to you? Liam, she's not my maid, and her name is Tori. She's my high school best friend, so please be nice to her.
Ah, okay. Whatever. I need to see your mom. We have a lot of catching up to do.
As he ran off to our mansion, Tori gave me a disapproving look. This is your childhood best friend? The guy you've been telling me so much about? He sounds like a jerk. He must be tired from the flight. Trust me, he's a nice guy. When I came to school the next day, I saw all the girls gathered in the parking lot. I checked to see what all the chaos was about and saw Liam coming out of his golden chopper with his bodyguards rolling out a red carpet for him. What was he doing here? Morgan, the most annoying brat in the world, accidentally tripped over something invisible right in front of him. Oh my God, my dress! It's worth $237.69 million, and now it's dirty. I need some love and comfort. Liam ignored her and grabbed a megaphone instead.
Attention, everyone. Call yourself lucky because I'm joining your school now. And ladies, I know I'm super handsome and irresistible, but unfortunately for you, I'm unavailable.
He sounded so pompous. But Morgan and the rest of the female population suddenly looked like depressed vegetables. And they didn't look happy to see him walking down the hallway with me or sitting right next to me during class. But for some reason, all I could think about was Axel's empty seat at the back. Later that day, we had some important exam results being posted on the bulletin board, and I was shocked when I didn't see my name at the top spot. Holy mother of frogs! It was Axel this time. I don't understand. He either sleeps in class or doesn't even attend them, but he's always in the top 5. And now, he's freaking number 1? How is he beating me? Maybe he studies in dark alleys all night after beating someone up. As I turned around, I crashed straight into someone behind me. It was Axel.
If you're curious, you only have to ask.
Okay then, why don't you tell us?
It's a secret. I'll have to come a bit closer.
As he bent his head down to my ear, I suddenly felt my heart skip a beat. He brushed a strand of hair away and whispered,
I'm just really, really smart. Smarter than you, for sure. I might be smarter than Einstein himself.
Gosh, he was so arrogant. I was about to push him away when suddenly Liam did it for me.
Who are you? And can you step away from Olivia? I could ask you the same thing, but I'm not interested actually.
Axel turned around and left, and Liam looked really annoyed. As I started walking down the hallway, he followed me and asked me out for dinner that night so we could catch up. That sounded nice, and I agreed. He took me to a really fancy restaurant, and we were having a good time. Till our order arrived, and suddenly, Liam started yelling at the waiter.
I ordered a sizzling steak, not your stupidity.
Liam, what are you doing? It looked completely fine. The chef came out and asked us what the problem was.
The steak doesn't sizzle enough, and it's not even the center of the plate. This is the stupidest food presentation I've ever seen. You're fired. Sir, you can't do that. I own this restaurant. My dad owns half the city, and I'm going to have your restaurant shut down for food poisoning. Come, Olivia, we're leaving.
As we stepped outside, I turned to him furiously. Liam, you're unbelievable. How can you talk to people like that?
I can talk to anyone any way I want. Olivia, this was supposed to be a perfect date, and they ruined it. I'm only angry because it meant so much to me.
No one ruined anything except for you. Wait, a date? I thought this was just dinner between friends.
Come on, I told every girl in school that I'm unavailable. And you must know that everyone is expecting us to be together, right? I want it. Our families want it.
But I don't want it. I don't even think of you that way. And who are you to decide things for me?
Why are you being so difficult?
Don't mess things up like this, Liam. I miss the old you, the sweet little boy who used to be my best friend. I want that person back.
I won't just settle for being your friend, Olivia. I'll do anything to be more than that.
And at that moment, I just knew that things would never be the same between us. The next day at the canteen, Tori and I spotted Axel in one corner looking anxious as he talked to someone over the phone. He's probably talking to his advisor. Advisor? For what? Every mafia boss has his own advisor, and they're probably planning on their next victim. I tapped her head to snap her out of her crazy ideas, but my curiosity about Axel grew even more. I wondered what he was really up to whenever he disappeared. As he walked off, I decided to follow him and saw him heading to the library. Now was my chance to see how he studied. But he just spread out his notes, put his head down, and fell asleep. I tiptoed and snuck closer to see those notes and noticed that he had such cute handwriting. Suddenly, a hand grabbed mine, and when I turned my head, our lips almost touched. Was he awake all this time? I just wanted to grab that book next to your notes.
I have a really important question to ask you, Olivia. It's now or never.
Yeah? What is it?
What lotion do you use? Your hands are really soft.
Realizing that he was still holding my hand, I pulled away and came up with the lamest excuse. I really need to pee. Bye! Later that day, I was in the school elevator when he stepped in to join me. Please don't talk about the notes. Please don't talk about the notes.
So, what was your deal with my notes earlier? Still trying to figure out how I'm getting better grades than you?
I told you. I was aiming for that book beside you. He just smirked at me and was about to say something when suddenly Liam slipped in.
There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere.
Suddenly, the elevator broke. Perfect timing. Axel started calling for help while Liam started pestering me.
Why are you ignoring me? Is this about last night? Fine. I'll let that stupid chef go this once.
Could we please focus on the problem right now? We're basically stuck and it's so hot.
Let's make it hotter then.
Without any warning, Liam took off his shirt and I was stunned. When I turned to my right, Axel did the same and holy cheese. If Liam had the body of a fitness instructor, Axel had the body of a Greek god. And I looked like a stupid potato between them. Why did you take off your shirt too?
You're right. It's really hot. I might die of hypothermia and suffocation.
Before I could collapse, the elevator doors finally opened. Oh, thank God. I immediately rushed to the restroom and used my inhaler to calm myself from the traumatic incident. One night, while I was giving out food and cash to some beggars, I spotted someone in a leather jacket exchanging something with a suspicious guy across the street. I realized that it was Axel. I got out of my limo to secretly follow them as they passed through an alley and entered a door that led to a basement. Oh my God, was this their hideout? I was expecting to see a room full of gangsters, but it was the complete opposite. There were nerdy-looking guys solving Rubik's Cubes with super difficult shapes everywhere. I spotted Axel, and he was the only one who looked different. What in the world? I met Axel's eyes across the room, and he looked so shocked to see me that he fell off his chair. He acted like nothing had happened and continued solving his cube, but I couldn't help but smile. He was so cute. After the game, he was awarded second place, but he didn't seem happy about it. He walked up to me with a disappointed face.
I lost by 1.5 seconds because I got distracted when I saw you. It's the 57th Digital Qualifier Next Generation Championship Cup, and I should have won it to complete my badges.
So he was actually a nerd who happened to look like a bad boy? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to follow you. Suddenly, the scariest nerd that I had ever seen charged toward Axel like a raging bull. I bet $5 million on you to win, and I need to get it back, you loser. Get him, guys.
Time to go.
Axel grabbed my hand and dragged me out of the building. We fled on his motorbike, but the nerdy goons kept following us until we reached the countryside. Suddenly, it started raining really hard, and we could hardly see anything. Axel had no choice but to pull over to the nearest waiting shed. Both of us were soaked to the bone as we sat on the single bench. It looks like the rain wasn't stopping tonight, and it was already so late. I called my parents to tell them that I was sleeping at Tori's house so they wouldn't be worried.
I'm sorry you got dragged into all of this.
No, it was my fault. I shouldn't have followed you. You lost the game because of me.
It's fine. There are thousands of upcoming games anyway.
I grabbed the chance to reveal our ridiculous theories about him, and it was my first time seeing him laugh.
So you're telling me that all nerds are supposed to be blind and aren't allowed to wear leather jackets?
It was my first time seeing one.
You're shaking. He must be very cold.
He took his leather jacket off and wrapped it around me, pulling me into a hug.
I hope my body heat can make you feel better.
Yeah, it's helping.
I'm relieved.
Feeling so safe in his arms, I found myself closing my eyes with a smile. When I opened them again, I realized that I'd been asleep on Axel's shoulder for hours. It was morning already. I woke him up and we rushed to the nearest store to buy some decent clothes. We changed into new ones, and as we went to school together, everyone looked stunned. But Liam looked furious. He immediately pulled me aside.
Are you out of your mind? Why did you come with that stupid gangster?
Buzz off, Liam. It's none of your business.
I can't believe you're choosing him over me. We basically grew up together.
Axel suddenly came up to me and handed me my undershirt from last night.
You forgot this in my bag.
Everyone dramatically gasped, and I turned into the ripest tomato. I purposely started coughing to distract everyone, but it only made Liam and Axel race to get my inhaler from my bag.
Back off, man. You back off, idiot.
Suddenly, Morgan jumped in between them. Boys, stop fighting over that trash with stupid lungs. I'm right here. One of you can have me. I'll take either of you. Both the boys ignored her and continued glaring at each other. Okay, that's enough. I'm not a damsel in distress who needs constant saving. I'm totally fine. Tori couldn't stop teasing me about everything that happened. I'm loving the fact that two hotties are fighting over you, but I'm Team Axel, obviously. Liam is the villain in this story. Tori, I swear to God, my life is not a cheesy fan fiction. Seems like it anyway. She then walked away with a teasing smile. In the following days, Axel and I started hanging out, and it drove Liam even crazier. But I didn't care. I was really having fun with him. He even introduced me to his friends at their club. One time, I tried to touch his favorite cube, but he panicked.
Be careful. You have to hold it gently. It's the 6th generation fully functional limited edition cube.
God, he was such a hot nerd. Don't worry, I'll handle it with care. And then, I surprised him by solving it in less than a minute.
Brains and beauty? You're really something else, Olivia.
Suddenly, Liam appeared out of nowhere and challenged him.
Let's have a polo match, tomorrow after school, 1-on-1. The winner can date Olivia, while the loser should back off, forever.
Are you out of your mind? I'm not a freaking trophy for a stupid competition. To my surprise, Axel replied,
See you tomorrow then.
As Liam walked off, I turned to Axel angrily, but he took my hand.
It's the only way for him to back off. I promise, I'll win this.
Okay, but be careful. I don't trust Liam to play fair. I was their only audience the next day, and I was a bundle of nerves. Minutes into the game, Axel was already being Liam's butt effortlessly.
Are you ready to lose? Ask that to yourself, idiot.
To my surprise, Liam suddenly hit Axel's horse with his mallet, causing it to panic and throw him off. Liam then grabbed the chance to hit the ball and shoot it at the goal. He then came up to me and smirked.
You're mine now, whether you like it or not.
Over my dead body, Liam. You're not my best friend anymore. You're a monster.
A very sexy and attractive monster?
Axel got up and glared at him.
You clearly cheated. This is not fair. We never had any rules, loser.
Axel lunged forward to attack Liam, who suddenly snapped his fingers, and his bodyguard dragged Axel away. And I felt even angrier. Do you really think all this is helping you win me over? You're just making me dislike you more.
What do you think your parents would say if they learned their little princess is dating a gangster?
Where's your proof? Axel is a decent guy, and he's also a genius.
You really like him, don't you?
Finally, you got the hint.
We'll see about that.
The next day, I was surprised to see the whole school in a total mess. The walls were all ruined with spray paint, and half the lockers had been smashed. The principal was fuming. He checked the surveillance footage, and we were all shocked to see who the culprit was. Axel. It couldn't be.
I knew it. He couldn't accept the fact that I beat him in a game yesterday, so he threw a little tantrum.
Suddenly, Morgan clung to Axel's arm.
You could have destroyed me instead, Axel babe, and I would have thanked you for it.
Girl, have some dignity, and eat this to fill your empty brain. Axel turned to me and said,
You know I couldn't do this, Olivia.
Of course. Only idiots would believe that footage. Unfortunately, the principal was one of them. He immediately suspended Axel, and seeing Liam grinning made my blood boil. Obviously, he had framed Axel, but I had to find some proof first. Later that night, I sneaked through Liam's window and hid inside his closet. Soon, he entered his room with a guy who was wearing the same outfit and hairstyle as Axel, and they were talking about how they had set him up this morning. I knew it! I made a video of the whole thing, and just then I bumped into something and made a loud sound. And the next second, the closet door flew open, and Liam turned into a psycho.
You little witch! Give me your phone, or else.
He was about to hurt me when his parents suddenly barged in. I showed them the video and told them about Liam's behavior, and they were very disappointed.
You're gonna regret this, Olivia. You'll see.
To teach him a lesson, his parents cut off his allowance and put him on a plane back to Germany. I was sad because I'd lost my childhood friend, but he just wasn't the same guy anymore. And now I could finally focus on Axel. I headed to their club, but he wasn't there. I didn't find him at his mansion either. I tried calling him on his phone, but there wasn't any signal. Where was he? What if Liam did something to him before leaving? Feeling so worried, I suddenly had a hard time breathing, but I couldn't find my inhaler anywhere.
Looking for this?
I turned to see Axel, and he was holding my inhaler. I ran to him with happy tears. I thought something bad had happened to you.
I'm sorry if I got you worried. I just got busy doing something.
He brought me up to his room, and I was shocked when he unveiled a huge painting-like Rubik's Cube with my face on it. Axel, this is just amazing.
Olivia, I've liked you since the first time I laid my eyes on you, but I was too scared to get close to you because I knew I'd just fall for you. And well, I did.
So what are you waiting for? He responded by finally kissing me, and it felt surreal.
I love you.
I love you too. Suddenly, Tori stepped into the room and started jumping like a monkey. I knew it! Wait, had she been following me? Axel and I just chuckled at her craziness.